Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir tout le monde. Sorry for the late start. Désolé du retard. Microsoft Teams themselves are having issues, which are creating connection issues for us, but we seem to be online right now, so we'll get the meeting started. So I'll ask all members of council to announce themselves, please.
Mike Ternosky present.
André Brisson present.
Cindy Saucier here.
Perfect. Councillor Lorrain motivated his absence. He won't be joining us this evening. Item 2 puis 3, la prière puis l'hymne national, on ne le fait pas quand c'est virtuel. Item 4, additions or deletions or amendments. Under item 18A, we will add Councillor Saucier for Earth Hour. Therefore, item 5, l'adoption de l'ordre du jour. Motion d'adopter l'ordre du jour tel que amendé. Need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Ternosky, seconded by Conseiller Brisson. Call for the vote.
Mike Ternosky, yes.
André, oui.
Cindy Saucier, yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Item 6, disclosure of pecuniary interest. Hearing none, seeing none. We'll go to item 7. Adoption of the minutes. Procès verbal de la séance ordinaire du Conseil du 1er mars 2021. Motion d'approuver le procès verbal tel que présenté. Besoin d'un proposeur puis un appuyeur. Proposé par Councillor Ternosky, seconded by Councillor Saucier. Questions? Conseiller Brisson, as-tu une question? No. Okay, I'll call for the vote.
Mike Ternosky, oui.
André, oui.
Cindy Saucier, yes.
Perfect. Item is carried. Merci beaucoup. Présentation 8, il n'y a pas. Délégation 9, il n'y a pas. Item 10. Motion that all items listed under consent items be received as presented. A, the Ontario Ombudsman investigation letter received on February 23rd, 2021. B, the minutes of the Accessibility Committee Advisory Committee of February 17, 2021. C, minutes of the United Counties Prescott-Russell, December 17th, 2020 and January 27, 2021. And D, the pay list for February of 2021. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Conseiller Brisson, seconded by Councillor Ternosky. Call for the vote.
Mike Ternosky, oui.
André, oui.
Cindy Saucier, yes.
Perfect. Items are carried. Thank you very much. We're going into item 11, reports from departments and council committees. Before we go there, I'll just announce that after all these reports, we'll have our question period. Feel free to type in your question presently, anytime during the reports, and we'll address them at the question period under item 14. Please make sure to state your name and the address. If you don't, if it's under anonymous, questions will not be addressed. Merci. On va aller avec rapport A. C'est demande de modification au règlement de zonage, rapport PD 08-2021 pour le 1956 chemin de Sainte-Catherine à Russell. Que le Conseil reçoit le rapport PD 08-2021 daté du 15 mars 2021 et la modification du règlement de zonage au règlement numéro 2018-94 pour la propriété en question pour ce qui suit. 1. Modifier le zonage de zone agricole restreinte A1 à zone agricole restreinte, exception 24 A1 24, afin de permettre la conversion du bâtiment existant à un centre de production de marijuana. Questions, comments, members of council? Hearing no questions, anything to add from the administration?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Parfait. We'll vote later on that one. Item B, official plan amendment zoning bylaw, report PD 11-2021 for 1208 St. Marie Road in Embrun. That council receives report PD 11-2021 dated March 15th, 2021 and approves the official plan amendment to the Township of Russell official plan to amend the official plan designation of 1208 St. Marie Road from commercial to residential, and approves the zoning bylaw amendment to bylaw number 2018-094 for the subject property to amend the zoning of the subject property from general commercial C to residential 2 R2 to permit construction of a semi-detached building with secondary dwelling units in the basement. Questions, members of council? Seeing, hearing none, quelque chose à ajouter, Madame Tremblay?
Non, Monsieur le maire.
OK, parfait. On va aller au prochain item. Item C. État de la rémunération et des indemnités versées en 2020, rapport FS 04-2021. Que le Conseil reçoit le rapport FS 04-2021, daté du 15 mars 2021, et accuse réception du rapport concernant l'état des rémunérations et des frais versés l'année précédente aux membres du Conseil et aux personnes autres que les membres du Conseil nommés par la municipalité. Question, membres du Conseil? Hearing none. Anything to add from the administration?
Non, merci, Monsieur le maire.
OK, merci beaucoup. On va aller à la prochaine item. Item D. Indexation of development charges rates, report FS 05-2021. That council receives report FS 05-2021, dated March 15, 2021, and adopts the proposed bylaw to amend Schedule C1 of the User Fees and Charges Bylaw 2020-130, and approves an indexation of 2% for the development charges effective July 1st, 2021. Questions, comments, members of council? Hearing none. Anything to add from the administration?
Non, merci, Monsieur le maire.
Parfait. On va aller à la prochaine item. Item E. Demande pour la phase 2 du financement de fonctionnement des municipalités pour le transit, rapport FS 06-2021. Que le Conseil reçoit le rapport FS 06-2021, daté du 15 mars 2021, et adopte le règlement proposé autorisant le maire et la greffière à conclure l'accord de transfert de paiement pour la phase 2 du financement de fonctionnement des municipalités dans le contexte du cadre de relance sécuritaire pour le transit. Question, membres du Conseil? Councillor Turnowski.
J'avais juste une question pour M. Godin. Est-ce que tout le montant qui est inclus dans cette subvention-là était planifié déjà? Parce que je sais qu'on en attendait, mais je ne me rappelle pas si on avait le montant.
Oui, merci, conseiller Turnowski. Monsieur Godin?
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Donc oui, conseiller Turnowski, le montant était prévu. Dans le fond, il était inclus dans les prévisions qu'on vous a montrées quand vous avez pris la décision sur le transit. Donc, ça correspond à ça, oui.
C'est bien, merci.
OK, parfait. OK. D'autres questions? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item. Item F, Mass Communication Report PIC 02-2021. That council receives report PIC 02-2021 dated March 15, 2021, and decides not to proceed with the implementation of an electronic mass communication system and prefers instead to maintain the current practice of door-to-door assisted by our notifications on our social network. Questions, comments, members of council? Hearing none. Madame Bordeaux, tu voulais-tu jaser un petit peu?
Oui, je peux jaser. Basically, as written in the report, having mass notification and speaking with 4 different companies, it was noted that it's very limited. The amount of people that register to these types of notification system are very limited, small, and due to that reason, that's the position the administration took, because either way we would still have to notify our residents by doing door-to-door communication in a time of emergency, such as the boil water that we saw last fall. So that's how I based the recommendation to this report.
Okay, thank you very much, Madame Bordeaux. I think it's everybody got the same information. It's unfortunate that these systems don't don't seem to be well utilized. Therefore, I can understand not wanting to waste that amount of money on such it's not really the greatest return on the investment. I think we should definitely be pushing when people say, you know, I didn't get a notification or something. We should be pushing everyone to get onto our newsletter and our email notifications. At least that way we can make sure that as that grows, we'll have a better understanding of how people are getting the information and how fast they're getting it. So, merci beaucoup pour le rapport. Y a-t-il des questions, membres du conseil? Hearing none, thank you very much, Madame Bordeaux. We'll move on to the next item. Item G, design of the snow dump facility, report ISSW01 2021. That council receives report ISSW01 2021 dated March 15th, 2021, and 1. Approves the proposed bylaw to accept the bid received from GHD Limited for the design of the snow dump facility. And 2, accepts the consultation fees of $149,800 plus $19,474 for a total of $169,274, 1.76% municipal portion of HST included. And 3, approves to increase the budget over 2 years for this project by a total of $145,000. And 4, that the mayor and the clerk be authorized to sign the contract. Questions, comments, members of council? Councillor Tanoski.
So I guess I'm just still new at this, but it just boggles my mind that we have two companies that bid for this with such a huge difference in price, and it just makes me wonder that is there perhaps something where we're not clear enough on the expectation? Because again, it's such a difference in price. Now we go obviously with the lowest price. That makes total sense to me. But I always get worried that we're accepting something and maybe it's the lowest price, and then it ends up costing us more in the long run. Again, the big variation here is what scares me, and I don't know. Is there a way around that? Is there?
That's been a topic of discussion since I've been on council. Unfortunately, a lot of companies bid based on what work they already have. So if they're a company that's very, very busy and they really don't want the work, they could bid extremely high saying, well, if I'm going to have to do it, then I'm going to make sure it's really worth my while. But yeah, this has been going on for years and years. Monsieur Leduc, Monsieur Bourgon.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Donc, je voulais juste préciser aussi qu'on a utilisé notre système électronique Bids and Tender. So every company basically around the world could have access to those documents. We had a good amount of bids taker, but unfortunately, as you mentioned, Councillor Tanoski, only 2 engineering firms submit a bid. The price, what we've seen goes by the existing workload. Variation can be as what type of the amount of work effort or which member of their company is going to perform which work. So that explains some part of their variation and how much work they think, or if they may have done a similar work elsewhere. So it would be less effort for them, or so those are the type of things that explain the variation in price.
Thank you.
Merci. Monsieur Leduc.
Merci, Madame du Conseil. Bonsoir. I've had a discussion with Councillor Lorrain as shared Councillor Tanoski the same question you have. Before Christmas, I have spoken to Mr. Godin regarding bringing a change to our quarterly report on those tenders over 25,000. The ask from me has been that from now on, there is a report or a new line in our report that shows the actuals, because maybe there are 2 distinct prices, but as long as the lowest bidder who gets the bid gets to be in the same range as the RFP was saying, are not costing more than the second bidder, I think we're okay to offer to the lowest bidder. But we are going to be including an actual of the contract costs from now on in reports to council. So we'll be able to find out if any contractor are bidding low and adding on afterwards, ending up to be a second or third or fourth highest bidder if we would have known ahead of time. So we'll be reporting now to council on that. So you'll be able to track and detect any of those issues if these issues are actually there. So we're going to try that to at least provide information to council, and maybe that was going to satisfy the question. And if not, then we'll have to take some other measures in the future to address this. But right now, it seems to be what Mr. Bourgon has been explaining about the market. As we had many interests here in the tender, well, again, why the low number of proposals? Well, who knows why? But certainly we'll be reporting on costs, and then certainly can track that more closely. We're going to try that to see what's going to happen there, and hoping we can track something, if anything at all.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Councillor Tarnowski. Any other questions for Monsieur Bourgon at this time? Non. Quelque chose d'autre à ajouter, Monsieur Bourgon?
Non, merci.
Parfait, merci beaucoup. On va aller à la prochaine item. Item H, rapport annuel de conformité des réseaux d'aqueduc et d'égouts. Rapport ISWATWW02-2021. Que le Conseil reçoit le rapport ISWATWW02-2021, daté du 15 mars 2021, et accuse réception du rapport de conformité des réseaux d'aqueduc et d'égouts 2020. Questions, membres du Conseil? Questions, members of council? Councillor Saucier?
Yeah, I just had a question about, it said on page 34 of the water report, the DWS, like the water supply, that fluoride was non-applicable. So does that mean that there isn't fluoride, or I didn't really understand that?
Monsieur Bourgon?
I would need to circle back in the report to find exactly where the question came from, and maybe it's something I can provide more info to a council member.
Okay, it just said it was non-applicable for fluoride, where it was giving parameters for everything else, so I just wasn't sure.
And if my memory corrects me, like if I'm right, and I believe I may have answered that question last year as well with the report.
Okay, I guess I don't remember the answer, so if you could just get back to me later, maybe?
Yeah, I will do.
And also, when was the Boyle advisory? Was that this year, so it wouldn't be included in the report, right?
Monsieur Bourgon?
And so it happens in 2020. So it happens during the time frame of the report itself.
Okay. And would that be noted in that report then?
There was no, I mean, there was nothing wrong with the system itself, so there was no adverse flagged.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. D'autres questions, membres du Conseil? Non? Quelque chose d'autre à ajouter, Monsieur Bourgon?
I would like to, as information, I'll be coming back to council shortly with a growth update assessment that we did of our system. So basically, like, it's not only how much capacity is left from the overall system, but we also looked at all the pumping station and where upgrades need to be, which is our perfect is great for the start of our DC review. So that's a report that will come in front of council shortly.
Perfect. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Bourgon. On va aller à la prochaine item. Item I, request for support to Eastern Ontario Regional Network, the EORN GIG project, verbal report CL 2021. As you saw from the resolution and the letter attached, they're just asking for a support letter and a resolution so we can try and move this project forward for Eastern Ontario. The EORN has submitted bids or proposals. So we're just trying to get as much support from all the local municipalities. Any questions on that? No. And I'm proud to announce as well that I was last Friday I was re-elected to the board of EORN for a 2-year period. So this is something that I'll be pushing hard for to make sure that connectivity in all of Eastern Ontario is where it should be. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Last report, item J, is final update on the 2020 business plan and presentation of the 21 business plan report CAO 02-2021. That council receives report CAO 02-21 dated March 15, 2021. Monsieur Leduc. Vous êtes muté, Monsieur le Duc.
Je suis désolé à tout le monde. Monsieur le maire, membre du conseil. Oui, ben, vous avez vu dans ces rapports-là que COVID n'a pas seulement frappé les gens financièrement, mais ça a définitivement interrompu le service ou la livraison de services dans certains endroits. Donc, oui, les résultats du plan d'affaires 2020 n'est pas aussi éloquent qu'à l'habitude, bien que beaucoup de projets qui sont quand même commencés puis travaillés. Mais j'ai vu les résultats, évidemment, il y a eu interruption de service, les gens déplacés à la maison, l'incertitude de tout ça a fait en sorte qu'on a perdu quelques mois, définitivement 2 à 3 mois, là, avant qu'on puisse vraiment reprendre nos esprits. Donc, there's been some impact on the business plan, and therefore you've seen many of these 2020 projects started being put in again in the 2021 business plan. So this is there now. It's been presented to you. So I don't know if council have any questions or not, but certainly we're looking forward this year now to be a little more stable and being able to deliver a higher percentage of projects terminated or completed by the end of the year. So I'm willing to entertain questions, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Councillor Tarnowski and then Councillor Saucier.
So me, it's more of a statement than a question. I just wanted to congratulate you, Monsieur Le Duc, and your team for the amount of work that's there. We regularly see updates and get details on a monthly basis about all these projects, but when you see them all together, you realize the amount of work that's being done by the township teams, the staff. So very much appreciate you being able to manage that and I guess even with COVID, get all the results that we did manage to get out of this. So congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you.
Councillor Saucier.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it was a really in-depth report and it's very busy. I have just a couple of questions, if I could just get them clarified. There was the model home policy. It was 2020 number 13. So it's asking for construction of model homes before approval of a subdivision plan. Could you just clarify that?
Yeah, I believe Monsieur Le Duc, Madame Tremblay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, good evening. Yes, so it's a request that we've been dealing with. No, it's not a request. We've been dealing with this issue since I would say 5 years. Usually we issue building permits when the lots are registered on a plan of subdivision, but it takes a while for the plan of subdivision to be registered on property. So especially because it's at the registry office and it takes longer than it used to be. However, the builders are asking us to be able to build a model home and start selling their house on lots that are not being registered. Just to make sure the process is well established before they'll have permission. We've been doing it for the last 5 years, like I've mentioned, but there's no written policy. We started by allowing 2 houses per builder. And now it's becoming 4 and 5. So we want to make sure that we're addressing all the concern and that there's a written policy presented to council in order for us to be fair and in order to allow each builder to have the same number of houses to be built. So that's what we're looking for. The City of Ottawa has that policy, so it's something that will look from the City of Ottawa. We have a copy, so it should be pretty similar.
Okay, thank you. And the other one I had was number 25 was a request to cut trees on the bike path. And it said that it was already approved. So could somebody fill me in on that?
Monsieur Le Duc, Madame Guittard.
Oui. Mute, Céline.
Oui. Bonsoir, Monsieur le maire, membre du conseil. I'm just looking at this number 125.
It's 2020-25.
The year 2020, Councillor
Yeah,
Saucier?
and they were all listed in order.
Because 2020, it starts at 120.
C'est la schedule. Il y a 2 schedules avec le rapport. C'est le schedule A.
Yeah, Schedule A was for the year 2020. And Schedule B was for the year 2021.
Look it up again.
So I don't have a number 25.
Yeah.
It starts at
25 on
20. Sorry?
C'est ta page 294, 294 of the package.
Right. Landscaping,
Okay.
commercial projects.
Yes, that was it.
And that's with recreation?
Sorry, it's not. It's Madame Tremblay,
Okay.
Building and
Yeah.
Planning.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought, okay.
Yeah,
Madame Tremblay.
so, yeah, through Mr. Mayor, this was the commercial project along the roundabout and Saint-Guillaume. The site plan, yeah, so that's referring to the report that was presented for the maintenance agreement and the tree cutting along the bike path.
Okay, the old section of the bike path.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, the unopened section.
Okay.
And
Parfait.
sorry, I hope you don't mind. I just had two more there. The Russell signs on hold with the Kin Club. And then it said, and before the Russell name would be resolved before they would proceed. And I thought we had resolved that.
Yeah, it was resolved. I had the same question for Monsieur Leduc. It's
Okay.
when the report was done back in March.
Okay.
That was the situation, but they have contacted the Kin Club, and the Kin Club is will be moving forward. I think in the second report of this year,
Okay.
that's addressed there as well. But no, it's the naming. Yes, council did make a decision on the name.
Well, that's what I figured with a couple of these, because there was also the light crossing at the roundabout saying it wasn't completed, and that's completed. And then the other one I just had a question on was 2020 number 111, and it said new truck route, the option to reroute trucks through the village. And I'm just wondering, what was the decision on that?
That falls under. Whoops, you said 111.
Yeah, on that same report, the business plan.
Oui, Monsieur Leduc. I'm assuming Monsieur Bourgon.
Yeah, I would think so.
Oui, merci, Monsieur Maire. So at one point in 2020, I did present to council a report to upgrade the Route 200 to act
Right.
as a potential reroute of trucks. And the capital cost was around $10 million. So council didn't want to go in that favor investing that much. So that option of rerouting trucks by Route 200 is not feasible. So that was the option that was looked at.
So the report came to council. Council made the decision. That's why it's completed. It was for the report itself, the evaluation.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. D'autres questions, membres du conseil? No, hearing none. Monsieur Leduc, quelque chose d'autre à ajouter?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I think the next report that will be coming to council will be an update as to how we're doing with our overall strategic plan actions. When I was preparing this final report for 2021, the business plan, I think a good majority of things are certainly complete or at least well underway. But I'll be presenting a report to council regarding this new strategic plan. So not new, but the existing strategic plan, and also hoping this will be our last handmade report from this. In the 2021 budget, council approved that I get a software to assist us in preparing those kind of reports and keep track of them. So hoping this is the last time we do it manually, because I think it's a lot of work for everybody in keeping track and inputting and everything else. So there might be a new format by next time we look at this report.
Perfect. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Leduc. Next item, 12, rapport d'un investigateur ou l'ombudsman, il n'y en a pas. 13, avis de motion, il n'y en a pas. Item 14, question period on meeting the day. There is a question in regards to a mix-up. There was a mix-up on the website in regards to when the next meeting day of council is. And our agenda package is correct. The next regular public meeting council will be held on Tuesday, April 6, 2021. Seeing no other questions, we will continue the meeting. I'll move on to item 15, resolutions. Motion that council approves all the recommendations listed on the agenda under item 11, reports from departments and council committees. Need a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Tarnowski, seconded by Conseiller Brisson. I'll call for the vote.
Mike Ternosky, yes.
André, oui.
Cindy Sosa, yes.
Perfect. Resolutions are carried. Prochain item, item 16, règlement. Motion que le conseil approuve les règlements 20, 21, 23 à
Mr.
20.
Mayor,
Oui, Madame.
did you go through the question period?
Yes, I did, Madame Camille Laflamme. There was just the comment in regards to the mix-up in the dates, which was being corrected, and there's no other questions at this time.
Sorry, thank you very much.
No problem. Excuse, motion que le conseil approuve les règlements 20, 21, 23 à 20, 21, 28 inclusivement en première, deuxième et troisième lecture, tel qu'indiqué sur l'ordre du jour. Besoin d'un proposeur puis un appuyeur, s'il vous plaît. Proposé par Councillor Saucier, appuyé par Councillor Ternosky. I'll call for the vote.
Mike Ternosky, oui.
André, oui.
Cindy Sosa, yes.
Perfect. Bylaws are carried. Prochain item, item 17, new business reports. We don't have any. Item 18, other business presented by council members. 18A, Councillor Saucier for Earth Hour.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, no, I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention again this year that Earth Hour is on Saturday, March 27th from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. We're encouraging everyone to power down for an hour. This was started by the World Wildlife Fund in 2007 to raise awareness about climate change. So we've all been on a lot of FaceTime and a lot of electronics, so I'm encouraging families to power down that evening and spend time without electronics and take time to reconnect. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Saucier. On va aller à la prochaine item, item 19, consultation publique, audience, il n'y a pas. Item 20, session à huis clos, il n'y a pas. Item 21, confirming bylaw and attachment, that bylaw 2021-29.
Yes.
Yes, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council, the corporation, the township of Russell at its regular council meeting held on, and there's a mistake there, it would be March 15th, 2021, to be read a first, second, and third time and passed. So I need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Ternosky, seconded by Conseiller Brisson. Madame Camille Laflamme, tu as fait l'ajustement? Parce que Parfait, merci. So call for a vote. All those in favor?
Mike Ternosky, oui.
André, oui.
Cindy Sosa, yes.
Perfect. It is carried. Thank you very much. Our next meeting, our next regular public meeting of council will be held on Tuesday, April 6, 2021. And we are adjourned at 7:04 p.m. Thank you very much, everyone. It would have been 6:34 if we didn't have technical difficulties, but hey, it's all good.
Good job, everyone.
Perfect. Thanks very much, everyone.
Bonne soirée. Merci
Bonne
beaucoup.
soirée.
Bonne soirée.
Bye-bye.
Bonne soirée.